Hey everybody, and welcome back to Griffin, Indiana. Still planting our corn. Took a little break. How you doing, terraforming? Mark and everybody else in chat. So I went and filled the corn planter up, but well, I did not put any fuel in it. So yeah, we're gonna need to fill the corn planter up again. So we need to remember to get fuel that time around, or we will surely run out of fuel. Yeah, 16x maps are big. By their very definition, they are 16 times bigger than a standard map. So as I was talking about with respect to irrigation earlier today, a 16x map, which is 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers square, is a fair bit bigger than your normal map at 2 by 2. I suspect this planting is going to take the rest of late day 5 spring. Hey Tagar, CBW Farms. How's everybody doing tonight? Alfredo Farms, how you doing tonight? Darren, how was your what is it, Lupper? Was it your slunch? Was it Lupper or slunch? That's right, Nomad, we're doing a double dip today. 2 live streams, 1 night. Plan is to get out of spring today. Braden, how you doing tonight? Really need to do a second pass down here on the ditch side of the field. Oh, doing pretty good myself. Doing pretty good. I don't know, Mark. Somewhere between 2 and 3 hours. Fairly disciplined. I don't go for long runs at a time. What's the weather like for everybody? It's supposed to get down in the singles tonight. Maybe all that chilly Texas temperatures are coming east. Be your first challenge. Might be your last, I tell you. Might be your last after a month of diligent multiplayer on the same map, the same group of people. You might be looking for a break. Aim Insurgent. Let's see here. What does it say? What does it say? What does it say? That is 9.89 hectares. Guess I don't have anything in here to tell me acres. Mild 12C for sure. Single digits, I'm talking like 6 degrees Fahrenheit. That should be, gosh, I don't know what. In negative C. So, I mean, part of it is part of the fun in the challenge is playing different. So we all get in our ruts. We all play potentially the same generally in every map we do. We all kind of, well, this is how I do things. This is what I use to do it with. And this is when I do it. But working with a group in a multiplayer, you basically get, well, okay, that might be how you do things, and that might be how someone else does things, but it lets you kind of learn and experience, oh, you could have done it, you could do it this way, or you could do it that way. No matter how long you've been doing this, inevitably you learn something that will ultimately enrich your gameplay experience going forward. So she's a big field, that's for sure. David, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to find Bigfoot before we leave the map. We looked a little bit earlier in the forested area over here by down by field 19. Didn't see any signs of it. Like for some, my my skipping a row is unique and interesting and confusing. As we wind our way down the field, and then we'll come back and hit the rows we missed. How do you use the crop rotation planner? Well, it's pretty straightforward. So if you go here to the rotation, let's go planner A. So let's jump out of here. So this field says before previous, nightshade, previous cereal, and now we are planting corn. Okay, so if we go in here and we click this to nightshade, which was the nightshade, and then we pick cereal, and then we pick corn. That's what we're putting in here. Okay, now let me do my turn, and I'll pick up. Yeah, lane skipping is faster because we can just pick up, make a quick turn, and we're back in operation. Okay, so back to this. So potatoes was in this field 2 harvests ago. Wheat was in this field last harvest, and now we're planting corn. So as a result of potatoes and wheat, our corn, we're only going to get a yield of 80% of what we could get as a result of the fact that this field had potatoes and wheat in it. Now, if we plant potatoes in this field after it's had wheat and corn, we can expect a 95% yield. If we continue the rotation and put wheat back in it, 0.7% yield, 71% yield basically. And then if we follow it up again with corn again, so if we basically repeat this whole series, we're back to 80 yield, 0.80 yield. So let me make the turn, and I will lane it some more. So this, to completely erase the field's history, you need to have it as fallow for 2 years. Okay, and now that it's fallow for 2 years, if you plant corn, you're going to actually get a 20% yield bonus as a result. And then if we plant wheat, okay, if we follow wheat behind our corn, we're going to lose 5% yield, 95%. If we follow wheat with cotton, we're actually going to get a 20% bonus because for whatever reason, corn, then wheat, then cotton makes cotton happy. And you can plan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cycles per rotation planner. This, as you see, I didn't set any of this up. You don't have to use this at all. What this does is it helps explain to you visually what your yields are doing as a result of your planting decisions. So where some people get a little confused out is the numbers here. Okay, these numbers basically represent what happens the second time around. So let's say the first time you plant barley, you're going to get full-on yield. Okay? And then if you plant cotton right after barley, assuming nothing has been planted above barley, you're going to get a really good yield. Then if you follow canola behind your cotton, you're going to get full-on yield 100%. If you follow sunflowers behind canola, behind cotton, you're only going to get 86% yield. But then if you follow wheat behind your sunflowers and your canola, you're going to do 1.20. Now, there's nothing listed here. So what this is assuming, since it's a rotation, is, well, draw an arrow, go back to the top, and work your way back down. So if you plant your barley, which in essence is after wheat and sunflowers, you're going to get a 0.95 yield. Now, if you want to see, well, I wonder what happens. Okay, so if you put cotton in after wheat and sunflowers, you actually get a 14% bonus. But now you can see our cotton is down 95%. If we double crop our cotton, we're going to lose yield on the second year we do it. So the rotation planner is simply a thing you can use to visualize yield bonus and penalty with seasons as a result of the order for which you're putting things in the ground. So a yield, a rotation that's common amongst a lot of American farmers is right here. And that is wheat, soybeans, corn, wheat, soybeans, corn, and just cycle that around. Because you can plant wheat in the spring or in the fall after you harvest your corn. The wheat will be harvested in early summer, midsummer, and then you can slam soybeans in right in behind it. Soybeans will grow and be ready to harvest in late fall. And then you'll come in the spring and throw corn in the following year. So you get these two in year one, this in year two, these two in year three, this in year four. So two fallow years erase the field's history, and fallow is basically spring to spring of doing nothing to the field. So that means no planting, no seeding in the spring, no harvesting in the fall for that fallow year. And folks have asked, well, what if I plant oilseed radish? I just told you, no planting of anything. It needs to sit. Idle. We're letting the ground rest. Oh, I heard the baseball game. I hear the baseball game in the background. Ciao, pedestrians. GoldenEye, what is up? Oh, you can cultivate, you just can't plant. No planting, no harvesting. From spring to spring. Alright, we're going to need to get fuel. . I mean, technically you don't need to... Well, you should plow after corn. Technically, plowing doesn't do anything better with respect to seasons. Go down here and get ourselves some fuel. Do that here. While it's filling up, we can play ourselves a little arcade. Oh no! Someone broke it. Someone broke our arcade machine. Not cool. That is not cool at all. I will definitely not run out. Yep. 6.3 hours. We are needing to refuel. I don't know why this planter does not like to go this direction on this road. Problem with it doing that earlier. Nismo, how you doing again? Welcome back. This map is indeed on the Mod Hub. Link in the description. Rasnick, what is up? Doing a little ditch driving. Better continue on. Well, let's go up here. We're halfway down the row. Throttle. Alfredo, you gotta watch out. There's a few big strategists on that team. some very competitive personalities are over there. Ought to be an interesting strategy play on their end. Now, there was a question earlier about the about Bigfoot, Mr. Sasquatch. Question is, has anybody been looking for him themselves? I'm sure they're itching to get information about the Geo. We can tell everybody that the Geo is a big mystery to everyone. We're all as equally curious as to what it is involved. But I would like to have the group mods figured out by Monday. A track. Soundtrack? I mean, the super curious could put the map in Giant's editor and look at it that way. So the question is, when we get to that section over there, are we going to still be skipping a row, or are we going to somehow be off a row? I mean, the important thing is, Raz, it's not how bad you lose, it's that you had fun. I don't know. It's going to take... It might all be just a a publicity gimmick by the town to get tourists. Hey Ed, what's up? Yeah, just like pros versus Joes, it gave us a different outlook on gameplay, different strategies. Thinking about things in a little different manner. And now that you're able to live stream, it'll be even better. Because the big downside on pros, Joe's, was the pros got plenty of coverage on what was going on. And the Joes were... People were really curious on what was going on, what their strategies were, but wasn't any real steady content from the Joe side. This will allow us to have good content flow from both sides, and I think, we're going to be just right with the row skipping. Nope. Oh well. Well, I mean, realistically, someone will be documenting a tragic loss. Just don't know which side. We're all posturing at the moment. Did anybody use that hand sprayer that came out in the mod hub last week? I think that was the day that the 3 maps came out. So I didn't even know it was a mod until that evening. Ah, Raznik, no, GPUs are scarcer than the Sasquatch. You can blame cryptocurrency's resurgence. They are basically scratching up every possible card they can get their hands on. So there is supposed to be a 3060 dropping. I think this week. We'll see if the moratorium on reviews ends sometime this week. If it does, I'll post some videos. But the 3060, I've heard some rumors that maybe it's crypto mine crippled. So maybe that will be the card that players can actually find. Other than having super awesome luck, bird dogging the online retail sites to scarf any product that does come in stock. It's a barren wasteland of availability. Potato Papa. Other than just gross speculation, no, there's no idea really what the new codename R DLC is. It's going to struggle with all those high poly John Deere models. Did it struggle on Pros Joe's? Now this seeder is the Case Easy Riser. It's in the mod hub. I said it's a planter. It's a planter. Case Easy Riser. Or you can get it in New Holland Blue in the mod hub. Let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more passes on this particular field. It's going to be a nice yielding field. Look at all this loam. Jesse, it is indeed. It's a mod called Guidance Steering. Right here. For now, there's guessing and speculation that the potential upcoming R DLC, codenamed R, might be a DLC around a company that is named Raven something. And basically they make farming technology like in-tractor computers. And they also have GPS steering systems. They also have measuring systems for measuring spray rate and sprayers and spreaders and planters and seeders. So there's some guessing that possibly the upcoming DLC, codenamed R, could be an extension of precision farming. If it involves products from, let's say, a company like that. There's been lots of speculation around codenamed R DLC. Apparently the potato pack, the Grimmy DLC, apparently it was codenamed G before it came out, which gives some credence to looking at farm-related things that start with R as a clue. Hey, Freestyler, what's up? So yeah, as I was saying in a live stream earlier today, that would be kind of the holy grail DLC for console players. Would be something that introduced GPS or guided steering capabilities. So yes, it's all speculation at this point. We probably won't know anything. It could be the Ryan DLC for all we know. We won't know anything probably for 6 to 8 weeks. And that's just a total guess. Rain DLC. Oh, they finally finished Ravenport. And they put power lines in, that's what it is. So yeah, hard to say. We'll be speculating for weeks. Well, terraforming, that's what West Coast USA is. Ravenport with no trash, with power lines, and with proper animal farms. But it's PC only, sadly. Oh, thanks for the sub, British Train Spotter. You were in the stream earlier today, I think. Now, that's an idea that has been pitched around, Aaron, for sure. We can talk about all the things we would like to see. And if Giants ever watches this kind of stuff, it'd be a cornucopia. Be a bevy of great information of what actual players want out of the actual game. Well, Raz, it might work. You just don't know. So, like the last stream I did earlier today, at the end of the stream it said I had 8 new subs, but the sub thing never came up. because I think a lot of people have their subs set to private. And if you have your subs set to private, then it doesn't kick off that information. So last stream I had 8 new subs and I got no notifications on them. And then other streams I'll have a whole bunch of notifications. So what you need to do is you need to talk someone in that you know has their subs not set to private to sub to the channel while you have that activated and see if it pops up. Oh, you want to raise rabbits. All right, Jimmy, thanks for dropping by both earlier today and right now. Enjoy the rest of your evening, night. And let me look something up here. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? So, yeah, so I'm going to put some stuff in, and I'm going to direct message you, Raz. So that's my CSS. And that's the first part of the URL from my chat box. Really don't have anything else said. It's 800 by 600. Because I got a feeling that if you could figure out how to shrink the font down a little bit, it wouldn't be as intrusive. That's what I'm guessing your poll was about. Oh, 80s equipment, that's great. That would be awesome. Well, Montgomery, Montgomery, we're going to be playing Crawford Farms in 8 days for a month on a multiplayer challenge. So they both have their merits. It's more useful, Raz, on people watching on mobile. Than watching on PC. I mean, maybe useful for people watching on a TV too. I don't know. So yeah, in March 1st through March 31st, the whole month, me and Raz are going to be leading 2 teams of 10 players total in battle. Fierce battle. He's going to be leading Team Green, and I'm going to be leading Team Red. And we're going to see at the end of the month which team comes out on top with respect to our strategies and gameplay. Oh, we're going to run out of seed again. Man, we've been dumping the seed on this. Dumping the fertilizer too, but we haven't gone through near... I haven't filled this thing with fertilizer since I started. So mobile, it's redundant because it's chat on chat. Well, Team Timber would have to be replanting a lot of trees. It's one of the stipulations is for every tree felled, I'll use the proper word, for every tree felled, a tree must be planted by hand. Using the hand sapling plant mod. One, two, three, 5 more passes. And we'll fast forward to Tamari. Oh, that's interesting, Doug. I would guess that one of your, I don't know how you move with a controller, but I would guess that if you move with a stick, maybe that stick is slightly off center. So yeah, if you go to the main menu and then settings, and then controllers, you can adjust the dead zone. In single player it does. Single player, there is a trees planted, trees cut down. I'm pretty sure I saw that in the save game stat. Bridge would be useful, wouldn't it? Did you see him taking up the road car? And this is where You have the audacity to honk your horn at me. Where are these yuppities? Where do they think they get their food comes from? Alright, let's, instead of running up the main road, let's see if I can run up the alley. One, the alley doesn't have traffic. And I want to see if the alley makes this thing jerk to the left like the main road does. It's twitching. Twitching. Making me jerk. Don't know. Don't know. Amanda, welcome back. Uh-oh. Oh, thank goodness. We are taking out every street sign we come across. I'm a terror for street signs. Leave no street sign unturned. Oh, Jesse, don't worry. There's plenty of problems with green machines. Anyone, yes. Alfredo Farms. Never feel like you are restricted from being creative. Messed up my stinking course. There. That fixed back. All right, there. Now let's see if we messed up. Well, Jesse, it's because they don't have a Kubota license. Same reason why for up until 19, the only John Deeres that we saw in game were on PC. Because they couldn't go to console because they didn't have the license. So part of it is licensing, and the reason that there aren't really Kubota mods on PC is just there's apparently a lack of interest in PC modders to make a Kubota. I think there probably might be a few, but not a lot. Big star. Little issue. So, I mean, I don't know what's the biggest kind of size that Kubota does. I always thought Kubota was kind of a small yard tractor, smaller tractors. So in general, yeah, they're probably, I don't know what their horsepower range is, from 20 to 70. I don't know. So that would kick off a whole new line of 2-meter stuff. When I think Kubota, I think what I call lawn tractors. They're typically bigger than a traditional lawn mower. They typically can have attachments. They would have hydraulics. So you could have loader bucket, forks. You can get a rear hitch, 3-point hitch. You can have a plow blade on it. A pull behind mower, or maybe a big under deck mower. But instead of being like a 36-inch deck mower, it might be like a 48 or a 54-inch deck mower, or bigger. That's what I think of when I think of Kubota. I think of folks that need something much more than a ride-on lawnmower, but don't need anything quite the size of a traditional tractor. Somebody with a big estate, a lot of grass to mow. Yeah, little mini diggers too. I mean, we have ride-on mowers here in the U.S. They're typically 20 horsepower or less, with a deck of 36 inches or less. Very rarely would they have anything other than the capability of towing something. Computer's workbench, what is up? It has only taken us an hour to get this field planted. And about 3 trips to the store to get seed. Wow, so that's a pretty good sized tractor then. That concludes our seeding and planting for the year. Whoa. I mean, like, we've got Mahindra. We've got the side-by-side Mahindra. But that's all we've got. It'd be interesting to see more of that brand brought in. Going to turn in for an early evening. And now, late spring. Need to go think about spraying our crops here soon. Find my little buggy. Let's go check our crops. Yeah, they're coming along. We don't have any growth on our corn yet. Don't expect we would yet. Now, sadly, we can't drive this on our field. Found out the other day, its tires do crop destruction. There's our wheat. Let's come up. Not anymore, no. we haven't bought that yet. Two-thirds growth. Now let's run down to field 21. See what it's doing. Yeah, I thought McCormick was bought out and ultimately absorbed in as International, which was ultimately absorbed as Case. Orax, never. There's zero need for anybody to see me. Mysterious talking voice. Disembodied, if you will. Whoa! Yeah, we had Farmall McCormick Super H. I think we had an International McCormick 486. It might have still said McCormick on it. I think by the time we had it, we got the 806, it just said International on it. I don't know. It's been 30 years. Excuse me. Didn't quite catch up to that car. Hey, Cooper, what's up? That field looks nice. I think I'll wait till summer to spray my herbicide. Well, or actually, it depends on where it's hosted. Cooper, I can keep up with the rest of the traffic, so... Little go-kart's got some gumption to it. Whoa! Well, I don't think we have to worry too much about that in Farm Sim. All right, I'll let you guys choose. Do we do some fertilized contracts or skip on to summer? 1, if you want to do some fertilizing contracts. 2, if you want to skip on to summer. Go ahead and put that in the chat. %9% ground. We are in, man, we are in drought conditions. Corn might have some problems. Summer 1, summer 2, summer 3. Oh my gosh, we don't have any rain expected toward the end of midsummer. Well, everybody looks like they want me to skip on to summer for the most part, so that is how life will work. Gotta keep the road crew busy. Gotta keep the road crews busy. All right, there we got our growth. Okay. Go get a sprayer, spray them weeds. Lease it. Because we're only going to spray once. Well, I can't help it that I'm that darn entertaining. That's right, Screws Workbench. I am a leave no road sign unturned. Equal opportunity roadside turnage. Hey, Jason, what's up? I didn't even see that earlier. Got a door propped up with a pole. Oh, shoot. Well, Cooper, the graphics don't change. Not on my end. Now with our pros and Joes, we were required to lease everything. That was an interesting experiment. Definitely can be profitable by only leasing your equipment. It is indeed expensive. There were days that we had close to $100,000 in leasing expenses. Thankfully, since we were just dumping things in the biogas plant, we were offsetting that by quite a lot. I know, Jason, you said hi. I said hey earlier, I think. Pretty sure. Hey, Lewis, what's up? Yeah, it would have been on your end, Cooper. Pushing out 15 megabits. Steady. Things lined up. Well, I don't know why I could say your name. Cooper is a normal name. Go. But at either rate, well, you get Cooper, but you probably get Coper? Well, who the heck would call you Coper? That's just weird. Or Copper? Well, all I did, Feet, was live stream earlier today. Well, Terraforming, it's probably the same Europeans that spend half their time commenting on how I mispronounce various European brands and places. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I know terraforming. So I had a guy that used to work at the office that was from Brazil. And he had been in the country for probably well over a decade by the time he started working for us. And yeah, in Brazil, their first language is Portuguese. He spoke really great English. And he would periodically just say the weirdest words. Pronounce them just the weirdest ways. So one day, he was talking about urine. And we were looking at him like, what are you talking about? He was talking about urine. And we're like, dude, it's pronounced urine. And he got so ticked off because none of his friends he used to live in Pennsylvania. None of his friends in Pennsylvania bothered to correct him. They just let him mispronounce it for years. Hey Keith, what's up? Yeah, I think that's the sound of the interstate. Just see where we are. So we didn't have any failed germination. That's a surprise on that field because that field was technically planted in a drought condition. Where all the fields aren't too weedy. Yeah, I could see how that would be a problem. Given the fact that I know that means cigarette. Does have a bit of a different connotation here. Keith, I know some folks that they spend more time sometimes setting up the map than playing it. To some degree, it's the joy of setting it up is better than actually playing. So when they get a map farm set up the way that they want, they lose interest and then move on to the next. Aluminum, not aluminium. Is that what you're saying? What on earth am I stuck on? Why did I lower that? Well, are you okay? Here's a good one. This one's regional. Okay, this one's regional. So put in chat which you are. Do you drink pop or do you drink soda? This is a regional US thing. Do you live in a pop area or a soda area? Ah, yes, Scooter's workbench. The Xeroxification of just calling everything Coke. There's a term for that where basically the brand becomes the name of the thing. You know, a copy machine, copier versus a Xerox. Yet Xerox is a brand of a copier, but it's been basically people associate any copier machine as a Xerox machine. Usually for me, I go in, I say, I want a Coke. Like, is Pepsi okay? I said, no. Didn't ask for a Pepsi, I asked for a Coke. Clearly, the superior product has become the name for all of the products. You get iron. What's iron brew? Weed eater, yep. Several products that do so well in the market, they become synonymous for the entire market. Hey, Daniel. I don't know what you mean, Jesse. Is Monopoly money okay? What? Oh, is that like your comeback for Coke versus Pepsi? Well, then there's regional formulas, which is interesting. So like around here, we can buy in the store if we want bottles, actual bottles of what's called Mexican Coke. It is not white powdery stuff. Sorry. But it is basically supposedly what's sold in Mexico. And basically it's got real sugar as opposed to all of the artificial sweeteners. And what's interesting is that goes down real smooth. Whereas the American Coke goes down with a burn. And you're like, I can see why this eats battery acid off of batteries, because it burns. But the Mexican Coke in bottles, that goes down nice and smooth. Did you lose them? Or did you drink them? I wish there was a overlay where you can actually see where you sprayed. Especially once you get crop growth. Kind of just guessing at what looks like there may be a change in ground texture. So the family taste tested. What was the verdict? Which one was the winner? So no clear winner. I probably didn't necessarily know that was exactly marked, but I've seen videos of like an experiment where they take a can and they do something which causes basically all of the metal to dissolve, and you end up with this thin, clear layer of something. Hey Frank, what's up? I don't know where that dog is coming from, but they need to just chill out. all I can say about that. Turn this back on. Turn our blinkers off. So, have any of you had a chance to watch the Erlengrot video submissions? Giants put a blog post out the end of last week on. It was what looks like the first of 3 parts. Included 10 honorable mention videos. And I have to say, some of those videos were very, very interesting. Well, I would say all of them are very interesting. Lots of super creative people out there. Really looking forward to seeing what the like the top 5 videos are. I was looking at some of those honorable mentions. I'd say, wait, if that was an honorable mention, then what's the next? What's better than that? Yeah, it's over on their website under news. I put a link to it. Well, Giants put a link to it in the announcements in the Discord. I linked to it in the community post I put up. I was going to put a poll up and let people vote on what they thought was their favorite of the honorable mentions. But there were 10, and I could only put up 5 voting options. And I thought it might be a little excessive to basically put up 2 polls. This is where guided steering really helps. Roy, it will not grow. No, it will not grow. So if you look like here, sugarcane. If I plant sugarcane, nothing's going to happen. There's no growth. There's no growth schedule. There's no harvest schedule. It'll just sit there forever. Richard, are you looking for a link? No, we don't have bots. We don't use bots around here. One of the wrenches will get you a link here in a moment. Or I'll grab it real fast. There you goes. There you goes. I don't use a bunch of bots. I work in technology all day long. Last thing I want to do is come home and troubleshoot. Things not working. GTX in the house. Well, now you've got 3 links to pick from. I suppose. Well, maybe. I mean, if you're going to do that, then why even bother with seasons? But I would think that when you transition from one season to the next, or possibly even from one day to the next, seasons might kill it off. It's best if you're wanting to plant a specific crop is to hunt down a geo that works with that crop. So GTX, did you see the, we were talking about a possible interesting idea the other day? So I had a question. Question was, oh, we don't have any silos. So the question was, like, if we had multiple silos, if there's a way to know which silo had what crop in it, or how much crop was in each particular silo. So a very helpful individual reminded me of your signage. You can post outside the silo, which will work. Then the grandest idea came up. What if you could get to that information from this screen by clicking on the silo? So if you had multiple silos on this screen, click on it and then get like a little overview of what's in there, what's over here, here. Raznik, welcome back. I don't take full credit. Don't take full credit. I'm going to go down and get more spray. Probably going to need more than a whole tank anyway, but No, he doesn't run away. Sitting there pondering. Either that or he's wondering if he's going to tell us he's already got a mod that will do that. He's just been sitting on it. Oh, what game, Raz? What game? Yep, exactly. Exactly. I had a guy just out of the blue email me. Said him and his grandson have been playing Farm Sim. And they had a question. Basically, is if they had multiple silos on the map, if there was a way for them to know what was in each particular silo. So I asked Discord because, you know, I can't know everything. And they reminded me of your wonderful sign mod to post outside of the silo to then see what's in that particular silo if you walk up to it, which itself is great. But that's where the idea of if you extended that capability of being able to click on the map icon, you could see all of your silos and say, okay, that one's got that in it, that's got that in it, that's got that in it. So I reserved myself to try to remember to bring it up to you next time I saw you. Figured if it's possible, you would have an idea how to implement it. Because it wouldn't be the first time a mod came out of a live stream discussion. Oh, Raz, it's the best thing to come out of Australia since Crocodile Dundee. I would say best thing since Foster's, but from what I understand, Foster's is kind of iffy if it's really Australian or not. All right, Alfredo. Check you later. We're about done anyway. We all appreciate the time you do spend with us. That is for sure. Did Project, it's called Project Arrhythmia? I never heard of that. Big shocker there, but now I'll have to go try to figure out what that means. Well, it's a big, okay. It's a big accomplishment for sure. Something to definitely be proud of. And I have to say, if it was the Plants versus Zombies play, Plants versus Zombies, Alien Invasion or whatever it's called. If that's what happened to your headset, gosh, I don't know how you could be that upset. That was a great video. I do not know that game. Is that where, like, you... I have no idea. Is that like... I mean, I've heard of Beat Saber, but that's like VR thing. Gotta get his live streaming fine-tuned. The green challenge. Definitely have to check that out. You guys, we are just about done for the day. I'm going to go ahead and finish spraying the rest of this field. And we'll be back maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what the mood's like tomorrow. I said I was going to maybe stream SnowRunner earlier. Then I thought about just doing this. So, yeah, I got a lot of things I want to do. And not a lot of time to get them done. Because we've got not pros versus Joes. We got red versus green coming to the channel in 8 days. And that is going to take the entire month of March. 31 days on Crawford Farms. Beating Team Green. Senseless. So, it's going to be a month where we're not going to be doing anything else other than Farm Sim streaming. Daily or near daily. So, yeah. So be sure to check that out. Figure out which team you are in the camp for. And hopefully Raz will be streaming a whole bunch of red versus green also. Until next time, happy farming.